Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about damped simple harmonic motion. Consider the motion of a simple pendulum swinging in air. Its oscillation dies out eventually. Why? Because air is present here. The surrounding medium is air, so air is present here. So the air drag and the friction at the support oppose the motion of the pendulum and dissipate its energy gradually. The pendulum executes oscillations which die out eventually. So the pendulum is said to execute damped oscillations. See, first the pendulum may be oscillating like this, to and fro motion like this. It may be oscillating like this, but due to air drag, the friction at the support, its energy dissipates and the amplitude of oscillations decreases continuously, and eventually the motion of the pendulum stops. So here the oscillation fades away with time. Such an oscillation is called as damped oscillation, and the pendulum is said to execute damped oscillations. Here, the dissipating forces, that is the forces that dissipate the energy of the pendulum, are generally the frictional forces. For small damping, the oscillations of the pendulum remain periodic. Now, let us consider a system of a block of mass m connected to an elastic spring of spring constant k. If this block is pushed down a little and released, then the system oscillates vertically. Okay, it will oscillate a to and fro motion like this. It will oscillate an up and down motion like this. Okay, let omega be the angular frequency of oscillation. Then we can write omega is equal to square root of k divided by m. Okay, I am taking this as equation number 1. Actually, we have discussed about this formula in our previous video while we have discussed about the force law for simple harmonic motion. I hope you remember this, otherwise I will provide the link in the description box. Here, as we said earlier, the air present here we have the air, okay, which is the surrounding medium of the system that will exert a damping force on the motion of the block, and hence the mechanical energy of the spring block system decreases. That decrease in energy or that energy loss will appear as heat of the surrounding medium and the block. So, due to the damping force acting on the spring block system, the system eventually comes to rest. The damping force acting on the system depends on the nature of the surrounding medium. That is, if the surrounding medium was liquid instead of air or gas, that is, for example, if this block was immersed in a liquid, then the magnitude of the damping force would be much greater than in this case. That is, the dissipation of energy also would be much faster. The damping force, it is generally proportional to the velocity of the block or the bob attached here, and the damping force acts opposite to the direction of velocity of the block or the bob. Let the damping force be denoted by vector Fd, okay, damping force. Then this damping force is proportional to the velocity. Okay, then when we replace that proportionality sign with an equal sign, we want to write one proportionality constant over here. That constant is B, and I am putting one negative sign too. Okay, here we have a negative sign. This indicates that the damping force acts, okay, in a direction opposite to the direction of velocity of the block. Okay, I am taking this as equation number 2. So, if the velocity of the block is in the upward direction, then the damping force will be in the downward direction. If the velocity of the block is in the downward direction, then damping force will be in the upward direction. Okay, this negative sign actually indicates that the damping force and the velocity both are opposite in direction. And here we have a positive constant B, which depends on the characteristics of the medium like viscosity. And this B depends on the size and shape of the block. See, this equation number 2 is valid only for small velocity. See, initially we will have the spring only here. Okay, spring only here. Now, when the mass m is attached to this spring and released, the spring will elongate a little, no? And the mass will settle at some height, right? This is actually the equilibrium position of the mass m. So, let O be that point which shows this equilibrium position. Now, when the mass is pulled down a little or pushed up, okay, when this mass is pulled down a little or pushed up a little, a restoring force acts on this block due to the spring, no? What is the expression for the restoring force due to the spring? We have already discussed about this in our previous video, in one of our previous videos, no? Spring force or the restoring force due to the spring, vector Fs is equal to minus k into vector x. I am taking this as equation number 3. Here, vector x is the displacement of the block or the mass from its equilibrium position. This force, it is in a direction opposite to the displacement. That is why a negative sign is here. So, the total force acting on this mass at any time will be the sum of the damping force and the restoring force. So, Fs is the restoring force due to the spring and Fd is the damping force. Okay, so we can write total force vector F is equal to spring forces minus k into vector x plus what was the damping force, that was B into vector V, no? Okay, so we can write the total force vector F as minus k into vector x plus minus becomes minus B into vector V. I am taking this as equation number 4. Now, let vector A of t be the acceleration of this mass m at any time t. So, from Newton's second law of motion, we have F is equal to, vector F is equal to m into vector A. So, here we can write this force m into vector A at any time t. So, vector A of t is equal to what? Minus k into vector x of t, then minus b into vector v of t. I am taking this as equation number 5. Okay, vector A of t, this is the acceleration of the mass at any time t. Okay, so without using the vector sign, we can write it as m into A is equal to, m into A of t is equal to minus k into x of t minus b into v of t. Okay, I'm taking this as equation number 5. Okay, here we haven't used the vector sign because here we are talking about the one-dimensional motion of the system. That is why we dropped the vector notation here. Okay, now you see we have the velocity. Okay, we have the velocity as the derivative of displacement with respect to time. Now that is v is equal to dx divided by dt. And we have the acceleration A as d square x divided by dt square. Okay, substituting these in equation number 5, we get m into acceleration, that is d square x by dt square is equal to minus k into x, then minus b into v. Velocity is what? Dx divided by dt. So, we can write it as m into d square x divided by dt square. When I am taking this minus b into dx by dt to this side, this becomes plus b into dx divided by dt. When I am taking this minus kx to this side, that becomes plus kx. This is equal to 0 and I am taking this as equation number 6. The solution of this equation number 6 is found to be of the form x of t is equal to some a into e raised to minus bt by 2m cos of omega dash t plus phi, and I am taking this as equation number 7. Where a is the amplitude of oscillation and omega dash is the angular frequency of the damped oscillator. And omega dash can be written as square root of k by m minus b square divided by 4m square. Here, this equation number 7, we have a cosine function. Its period is 2 pi by omega dash. But this function x of t, it is not strictly a periodic function because of this term a into e raised to minus bt by 2m. Because this is an exponentially decreasing term. That is, this function x of t decreases exponentially and continuously with the time. But if that decrease is small in one period capital T, then the motion or the oscillation represented by this equation number 7 becomes approximately periodic. See, this equation number 7 can be graphically represented like this. See, from equation number 7, we have the amplitude as a into e raised to minus bt by 2m. This is an exponentially decreasing term. Okay, this is an exponentially decreasing one. That is, the amplitude gradually decreases with the time. Amplitude gradually decreases with time. Okay, and the oscillations die out with the time. With greater damping, oscillations die out faster. When we have discussed about the undamped oscillator, that is why we have discussed about the energy in simple harmonic motion, we got the mechanical energy as half k a square. I hope you remember this, otherwise I will provide the link in the description box. For a damped oscillator, okay, the amplitude a into e raised to minus bt by 2m, that is actually not a constant. That is, for a damped oscillator, the amplitude A is actually what? A into e raised to minus bt by 2m. So here the amplitude depends on time now. So for small damping, we can use the same expression for mechanical energy of a damped oscillator. But we want to take the amplitude A as A into e raised to minus bt by 2m. So the total energy of the damped oscillator can be written as E of t is equal to half k into, instead of a, we want to take a into e raised to minus bt by 2m. Then here a square, no, so all square. Okay, so this becomes E of t is equal to half k a square. Okay, a into e raised to minus bt by 2m, the whole square means a square into this one, the whole square. Okay, e raised to minus bt by 2m, the whole square is what? E raised to minus 2bt by 2m. Okay, this 2 and this 2 can be cancelled now. So this becomes E of t is equal to half k a square e raised to minus bt by m. And I am taking this as equation number 8. So, the total energy of the system decreases exponentially with the time. Now you see, if we put B equal to 0, then all the equations of the damped oscillator reduce to the corresponding equations of an undamped oscillator. For example, the total energy of an undamped oscillator is half k a square. For the damped oscillator, the total energy is half k a square into e raised to minus bt by m. Now, by putting b equal to 0, this expression becomes half k a square into e raised to minus 0. Okay, what is e raised to minus 0? E raised to minus 0 is 1 by e raised to 0. Okay, 1 by e raised to 0. E raised to 0 is 1. 1 by 1 is 1. 1 into half k a square, that is half k a square itself. Okay, so you see, if we put b equal to 0, then all the equations, not only this one, okay, all the equations of the damped oscillator reduce to the corresponding equations of an undamped oscillator. So, in this video, we have discussed about the damped simple harmonic motion. I hope you understood this. Thank you.